Hello there, blessed mama bosses. Today we have a special podcast for you that I'm so excited about. So there'll be no K and B Real Talk at the beginning of this, but it is just me here today, Blair Critch, with a good friend of mine, Ashley Casey, who you guys are going to be so excited to hear from. Because listen, do you have big plans to grow your social media to get new clients, but you keep getting stuck on what to do? Yeah, I know that feeling. Or do you feel overwhelmed to just even think about where to begin on Instagram? You see all these people growing over there. You know, you probably need to start implementing it, but oh my gosh, where do we even begin? Right? Well, I hear you, mama. And we know this is something we hear all the time from people. So this can be the number one way to grow your business. And today I've got a special guest that's going to help you guys out with this. It's Ashley Casey, and she's going to share how to attract the right business builders and customers to your network marketing business by using social media. Ashley has not only done it with two of her past network marketing businesses and hit top of the compensation plan, but today she is a business owner of a social media firm. And her husband, Chris, know exactly what to do to grow your social media. So, Ashley, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes. And if you guys are watching this or listening to this through our podcast, make sure you find, we'll give you all the notes, I promise. But if you are watching this on YouTube, you'll get to see that Ashley is wearing the most adorable pink shirt today, and she has the most gorgeous office. So if you guys are into seeing how people decorate their office, which is something I love to do, you got to go check it out. We'll have this up on our YouTube channel as well at Blessed Mama Bosses. So you got to check that out. But I'm excited to have you today, Ashley. So Ashley and I met 6.5 years ago when we both started with a network marketing company that sells vitamin supplements. And when I first met Ashley and Chris, they were completely different than who they are today. And that's my favorite thing, is seeing people grow, right? And become better and become not only better people and better humans and doing more for the greater good of everybody, but also just like even physically and confidence, like how Ashley stands now and how she speaks now, and seeing her and her husband just grow in this area of social media and be able to serve other people has been a huge blessing for me from the sideline and has been really cool. So, Ashley, tell us a little bit, like, how did you go from, because you don't know this, but when I met Ashley and Chris, you guys had questions on like how to do stuff on Facebook, to literally becoming an expert in Instagram and social media. So how did that transformation happen?
Yeah, I think more than anything, social media in itself is so powerful. We just don't know. Like when you don't know, you just don't know. And so, with being in network marketing for so many years and being very successful in that industry, we really learned how to, of course, gravitate to Facebook. Then I started to gravitate more towards Instagram because it's just an entirely cold market of people, which as a network marketer, I mean, that's what you want, right? You want is that cold market of leads that you can attract. So I really just educated myself. I went on YouTube and I just learned as much as I could, started to really understand attraction marketing. And now like the new term that many of you might hear is more of that magnetic marketing, pretty much the same thing. But I just got on there every day and I learned and I understand how to use Instagram stories, how to post correctly, having that strategy, the hashtags, I mean, you name it. And so with the success in network marketing, we had tons of, friends, business partners, leaders, those in our downline that would message us and say, hey, how do you do this? How do you do this on Instagram? How do you do this on Facebook? But more so Instagram. And so we just found ourselves, after so many years, like, okay, we really know our stuff. We're really, really good at this. And so, when God just kind of speaks and he places something on your heart and you have to be obedient. And sometimes you're like, why? Like, why? Like, no,
Yes.
why? I mean, it's happened to us two to three times in our life. And we always wanted to like fight him on it, but we can't. We have to be obedient. And so we said no to the industry altogether. And we opened up our own social media agency and we absolutely love it. We have been so blessed with so many customers and clients and business owners. And it's funny because the majority of our clients are network marketers. So as much as we love the industry, I mean, we always speak very highly of it. It's the catalyst to why we are where we are today, right? But it would just be a huge conflict of interest for Chris and I if we were still in network marketing and then doing what we're doing. So it wouldn't work. And that's okay. We are just blowing things up over here and showing everybody in any industry, if you have a product or service to sell, we can show you how to do it right and really take your business to a new level.
I love that. And I love also the fact that like now you guys are doing this full time and you're not with a network marketing business anymore. Because if you guys ever read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, he talks in there about the cash flow quadrant. And he talks in his book Business of the 21st Century specifically about network marketing. And that if you are ready to get to that investor level and be able to have the kind of business where you can put your feet up and, not even having to think about it while you sleep at night, you can do that by creating big wealth within a business owner part. So that would be like what Chris and Ashley are doing now. Or if you have a network marketing or direct sales business, you start there, you build up the cash flow, you move it to that investor quadrant through stocks or Bitcoin or real estate or investing in other businesses. And that's how you find true wealth. So I love that you're helping people along that path wherever they are and showing them by the way you guys are doing this. So I know people are like, wait a minute. So she started from not really knowing much about social media to all of a sudden owning her own social media firm within 6 years. I mean, that's pretty incredible. So how do you feel like that transition went? Like, what were the steps that you took? Because a lot of us will watch something happen, right? Like we're watching Clubhouse right now, or we're watching TikTok, or we're watching Instagram, and yet we're not really participating. We're just kind of dabbling.
Sure. Let's see. Well, we just decided after the last network marketing company that we were with, we just had to jump in head first. So when you always hear people like say, "Oh, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet for anything," right? They want to do something. They're very passionate, but they're not ready. Understand that. However, Chris and I were like, we didn't have the time to just, oh, we're not ready yet. We just had to do the do. So we used our knowledge and our education of what we knew, and we just launched it by showing up on social media, talking about our new social media agency, the things that we can do. And then it was just, client after client after client. So if I had any advice for anybody that's watching right now, you don't have to be perfect. Don't wait for the perfect time to launch your business or whatever it is that you're wanting to do. You have to start somewhere, right? And we're going to fail in the beginning. We're going to do things wrong, and that's okay. But that builds us to where we are today, right? So, that's pretty simple on how it kind of came about and how we started. We just ran with it. And within our first year, we're a little over a year now with our agency. Within our first year, we hit 1 million with our agency. But that just goes to show you how many people right now, especially with the times that we're in, are like wanting to work from home, right? They want to stay home. They want to be with their families and with their babies and really understand how to utilize Instagram to grow their business, because it's such a, again, a powerful platform. So many tools that you can utilize. It's like, I call it like this bank. It's a big bank of money that people are literally ready to buy. It's just, you have to show up the right way. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. Because what Ashley just said, and you guys, $1 million tip, write it down, is get busy. Get into action, right? And I'm actually going through Ashley Casey's one of her coaching packages right now, where I'm learning more about Instagram and how to better serve you guys, and also to bring in new customers and new business builders in my own personal network marketing business. And one of the biggest things I'm learning from you is like, just freaking do it. Like, stop thinking about the reels so much and just do it, Blair. Like, oh, you know how to hashtag, but you're not using them. Why? Just do it, Blair. So I love that you said that, because it is about taking action and doing it. Same thing in your business. If you're not going to take action, you're not going to have any results. So I love that you said that. And then the fact that you're calling Instagram this big bank is another really huge thing that I think a lot of us have to change our thinking. It's not just a social media platform. It is an opportunity to really bring in a huge impact.
I always say this too. Yes, it's free advertising, right? Just like Facebook, so is Instagram. So we need to learn it. Times are always changing. So we have to change with the times. And that is 100% Instagram. Out of all the platforms, it is massive, massive, and you will have massive results. And, one of the things that I always preach to my students is, I don't want Instagram to be like this overwhelming, like daunting task that you have to do every day. I want you to be able to wake up in the morning, do what you have to do your personal development, all those things. And then when it's go time, when it's time to work, you actually enjoy Instagram and you're having fun, because now what's happening is you're showing up and you're staying consistent. And the best part is you get to be yourself. You show up on your stories and you get to be yourself. You don't need to act like you're somebody else that you're not. You just be you. Be you. Authenticity wins at the end of every day. So whether you have a product or a service to sell, what's the one thing that you have to sell first? You,
Yourself.
right?
Yeah.
And so this is where you get to show up and you get to do that. So when you're selling yourself first and you're showcasing your life and you're behind the scenes, and one thing that I always say when I'm a podcast, especially for us mamas, right? It's being relatable. It's showcasing the pile of laundry that you have to do that's relatable to the other mama that's got laundry to do, right? You're showcasing all of those things. And in turn, when it comes to business, all those people that you're attracting are now like loving you. They're loving everything that you're bringing to the table. They're showing up on your Instagram. And now, instead of them just always talking to you about the things that you're doing behind the scenes and what they love, fashion, hair, whatever, now when you're talking about your business and you're showing up in your stories in front of people, in front of your audience, now they're interested. Oh, well, I already love everything about Blair. I love everything that she's got going on. And now she's talking about this for business. Well, heck, I need to message her. I want to know more about that. Right. So it's
true.
really, really fun.
Yeah. I always say stories should be like your version of the real Housewives, right? So like, I love reality TV. Why? Because it's like, oh, yep, I've had that same argument with a friend before, or yep, I've been, had that same discussion with my kid before. So making your stories really just like the Real Housewives of yourself, which is super fun. Okay,
Yes.
so there's so many people listening right now who are listening to you and they're like, yes, I want to do more of that on social media. I want to be able to use Instagram to attract others to me for that magnetic or attraction marketing. So what do they need to do to start attracting people on Instagram?
Yeah, I would say the first and most important thing on your Instagram is making sure that you're getting your bio right. So your bio is better than a business card. Okay, so you want to make sure that you are stating exactly who you are in your bio, right? What's your actual name? Make sure your first and your last name is in there. Okay. You can also use a keyword because that name section is searchable. But then you also want to talk about, what type of credibility do you have in business? What type of validation piece do you have in business, right? That's going to really attract somebody to you for them to take you more serious. And then you're going to state what it is that you do in so many words. Now for network marketers, right? You're not going to just go out there and say what company that you're with, right? You always want to brand yourself first, but there's ways of going about that to build the FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. How are you going to attract them the right way? By telling them what it is that you do. Okay. And then you also need to have a really good call to action. Like, what's your call to action? Where are you going to lead them? What's the hook at the end of your bio? Right. So your bio needs to be on point. It tells your audience exactly who you are and what it is that you do and how you can better serve them and how they can work with you.
Absolutely. And you guys go check out Ashley's bio and my bio. Ashley helped me with mine as well. You can find Ashley on Instagram at Ashley Casey, and you can find mine at Blair Critch too. And make sure you check it. Now, I have a quick question before we go on, which is a lot of times people will use, and a lot of people in our Blessed Mom Bosses community, because I can't find them when I want to tag them on something, they don't use their name. So what do you feel about that? Like, I just feel like if you use your name, it'd be a lot easier for me to find you. So I don't know if that's selfish or if that is a actual tactic that they need to go back and change. Instead of being called Beautiful Bold Hair, right? Because maybe they sell a hair product, should they be using their first name?
Absolutely. And that's exactly why you want to use your name, because people that know you, or let's just say you're out and about and you're connecting with somebody, and for some reason you forgot to connect on social media, you know that you're going to go on Instagram and you're going to follow them at Blair Critch. That's their first and last name. Now, if that's not populating and that's not working, that tells you right there that you're doing something wrong. It makes it hard for people to find you. So that's why it's so important that you are using your first and your last name.
Good. I'm glad I asked that question because I feel like I'm always wondering if I should tell people to change their Instagram handle or not.
Well,
Okay.
and there is, yeah, and there is a difference. So the Instagram handle and then the name section, okay? If your Instagram handle doesn't have your first and last name, that's okay. You can still
Okay.
have whatever you want as your handle, but just you need to make sure, at least in your name section, that your name is stated there, because then they can still find you,
Because that's
even if your
searchable.
handle is a little different. Yeah.
Right. Okay. That makes total sense. I love it. So, what do you feel like if somebody's listening to this and they're like, okay, so I heard Ashley say the bio is really important. And then how much time should they spend? Because that's a question that I get asked a lot. And I know I bug Ashley with this question a lot. I'm like, how much time do I really have to spend? Because one of my favorite things about network marketing is that I have built up a business now over the last 6.5 years where I don't have to spend hours every day on my business. And I really get to do the things that are fun for me, like this podcast and other things. So, how much time is the right amount of time to spend on Instagram every day?
So that's kind of a hard question, only because, again, we want Instagram to be fun. So once it's fun, you're still showing up throughout your day, right? And I'm talking more so your stories. So showing up throughout your day, you want to do that all the time. Okay, so whether that's showcasing like your favorite book that you're reading for personal development, or again, right, you're showcasing your house or some things that are going on. Maybe it's your favorite food, your favorite nutrition. You're talking about your business, right, because you want to be able to attract at the same time to bring money in. That it is a full-time job. 100%, that is a full-time job. Now, when it comes to actually making your post on your feed, that is not something that you have to do every single day. Okay, so I always say make at least 2 to 3 posts a week and you're fine. But what you want to do, what you need to be consistent on the most is on your stories. Consistent all day throughout the day. There's no strategy. That is a beautiful thing with your stories. There's no strategy to that. But you do want to show up periodically throughout your day. Now, when it comes to, let's say, engagement, right? Because engagement is huge when it comes to Instagram and your followers. If you're not getting any engagement right now, okay, you have to ask yourself, well, are you engaging with your followers? And if you're not, then they're not going to engage back with you. So I do make it a point, at least 30 minutes every day. If you can get in there and engage with your followers, do it. If you don't have the time, if you are so busy in your business where you don't have the time to do that, that's where virtual assistants come in. So that's something that you can outsource for a VA to do that for you.
To just connect with people and comment on their
Yep.
post. Yep. Love that.
Yep.
Okay, so if we're listening today and they're like, okay, I'm going to start getting active on Instagram. I'm going to start doing 30 minutes a day. I'm going to start showing up in my stories. I'm going to make sure my bio is fixed. What else are the actionable steps that you feel like are really important for people when they are trying to build on Instagram?
Hashtags. Hashtags. Instagram is ran off of hashtags. So whenever you are making, let's just say like your static post, you always want to make sure that you're using at least 30 hashtags and use all 30. Okay. I do recommend putting your grouping of hashtags under as your first comment, not in your actual post. It's just a little bit more aesthetically pleasing that way. But anytime that you make a post, you have to use those hashtags. That's how people search and that's how people find you, which is going to give you more viewers. It can give you new followers. It can land you new clients, right? And it's the best way to be seen. So it's funny, I'll work with some students in the very beginning that maybe aren't necessarily using hashtags and they have a beautiful post. They have this beautiful post, beautiful picture, perfect, giving great value, but then they're upset because maybe they're not getting the engagement that they're looking for. But I'm like, oh, well, you didn't use any hashtags. Nobody's seeing it. So hashtags
She's talking about me.
No, not just you, not you. A lot. And that's
I know,
okay.
but
That's what
that
I'm
is
here
my
for.
number one thing. I'm getting better at it, but it is funny. You know what I realized this weekend too, Ashley, when I was like, okay, I knew actually today I have an appointment with Ashley. We're going to be going through my hashtags. But one of the things I was thinking about this weekend in anticipation for this great training I'm going to have with Ashley is why am I not using hashtags more? And then I was like, you know what? Because I'm not actually utilizing hashtags for other people. So this weekend I started thinking about who are the people that I would want to serve with my product or my service or my opportunity. I need to be looking up those hashtags and finding those people. Yes. I think that's a part. Yes. So maybe explain that really quick, because I think that's a big part that I was missing, which means I'm sure a lot of other people as well are missing.
Sure. So on Instagram, when you go to your search bar, and let's just say you want to search Blair, right? It would be under people, but you can also search hashtags. So if you click on the tag and then you type in the hashtag that you're searching for, and let's just say We could do, what's a hashtag that we could use?
We could do Mom of Boys because we're both in boy moms.
Mama Boys.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. So we'll use Mama Boys hashtag. So you search that hashtag and it's going to have a whole grid of everybody that has made a post that has used that same hashtag. So now this could be a great way for you to connect with somebody. Maybe you're loving their content and everything that they're putting out. So you're going to comment on some of their stuff. You're going to like some of their pictures, and then you're going to hit the follow button. And normally what happens is when you do that, they're going to also follow you back. Well, there you go. Now you have a new lead. Same thing with work from home mom, right? Or mom life, stay at home mom, especially if you're wanting that industry of working from home. That's a whole new market for you that you could be relating to with somebody else, and they're going to fall in love with you too. Now you guys are followers with each other, seeing what you're putting out there as far as content goes. But yeah, searching hashtags is wonderful. And it's another great way for you and your business for market research as well. You know, if you're trying to come up with an idea and you're not really sure how to go about it, search the hashtag and see what everybody else is doing, right? We all learn off of everybody else. So yeah, it's genius. It's genius.
So true. And then what do you feel like when you are searching for these hashtags and you find these people, how is the right way to connect to people? Because sometimes I get messages on Instagram, Ashley, and I'm sure all of you listening, that I'm like, holy cow, like, what is that person thinking saying that to me or reaching? They obviously didn't even look at my profile. Like, I just got one the other day that was like, oh, hey, gorgeous. It was something about, I don't know, a vitamin supplement, which I sell, and about how I should try this right now while I'm going through my chemo. And I remember I messaged him back and was like, well, I must not be doing a good enough job of showcasing what I do. But then I looked, it was like 2 posts ago, I posted about what I did. So maybe a quick tip on that before we end.
Yeah, I mean, you have to get to know who it is that you want to work with, right? And so that's where you have to spend your time, and you need to do that research, and if you really like and relate with that person, then I would always start with at least liking 4 of their pictures and leaving a comment, right? If that means you have to make yourself a note that that person, write down their Instagram handle, right? And on that date, you liked 4 of their pictures and you left a comment. And so maybe next week you're going to go back, and maybe you're going to, I think actually, Blair, you and Beth might taught me this a long time ago in network marketing, but Facebook flirting, remember?
Yeah.
When that was a thing, it's kind of like Instagram flirting. You're doing the same thing. So you're going to flirt with them a little bit more, give them some love, like their pictures, and then you can go in their inbox, because now they're going to see that you've already showed up. You've spent the time. Now, when you go to talk to them, it's a little bit more authentic. Right. So yeah, when you get the spammy messages like that and somebody's just trying to like pitch you something, no, it's not going to work. That's just not how you do it.
Right. Social media has changed, you guys.
Yeah.
Those cold copy and paste messages do not work anymore. It might work for 1 in a million, but you don't have time to waste your time on that. So I love that you said that. And those of you who are like, what's Facebook flirting? Let me tell you really quick. It's my favorite. It's like, imagine you met 2 guys at the bar, right? So you walk in and these 2 different guys are at the bar. One is like super all over you and won't leave you alone, right? Then there's one that like kind of comes up. He maybe asks you a question or introduce himself, and then he walks away. Which one? And they're both equally attractive. Which one are you more into? You're into the one that walked away, because you're like, wait a minute. Like, I want to get to know that person more. I want to know what they're doing, instead of the guy that's like all over you, right? Nobody wants that. So just remember that when you're on social media, it's the exact same thing. So I love that. I haven't mentioned that in a long time, but it's so true, right?
So, and it's stuck with me ever since.
Yeah, it's a great analogy. So, okay. So if you guys were listening to this today and you're like, I need to know more, I need to get to the next level in my Instagram, I am ready to make this a priority, I'm ready to learn and grow more, you're going to want to connect with Ashley. We're going to be putting all of her information in the show notes. But Ashley, where can they find you, and what do you have going on for them right now that they could be a part of?
Sure. So you can definitely find me on Instagram. That is the best way to connect with me if you want to send me a message on there. And that's just that Ashley Casey, like Blair had said. My website is mysocialsavvy.co. And on my website, it gives you tons of information about me, my story, different ways that we can work together. But just to kind of share with you a little bit more about the options for what I provide as far as services go, I do have an Instagram course for business called Social Savvy. And with that course, you do get lifetime access. So anytime that I upload anything new, you are going to be the first to see it. I do also offer a 4-week private coaching, which is what I do majority of every single day on a daily basis. I love doing my 4-week private coaching. So that's 4 Zooms that you get with me, and we dive into everything on your Instagram. Go over all kinds of cool things from your bio. We talk strategy, hashtags, again, engagement. You get a 30-day content calendar, custom content calendar, you get graphics, all kinds of cool stuff. And then I also have a Facebook membership group called Social Savvy that you can be a part of as well. So a lot of different options for sure. And if you have any questions on that, again, just message me on Instagram. I'd be more than happy to help you.
Awesome. Well, I cannot wait for them to connect with you, Ashley. And one more thing, what is your absolute favorite reel that you've ever done?
Favorite reel that I've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely probably say the one where I talk about how I went from corporate America a long time ago to working at home and building a 7-figure income. That one was really cool. And that landed me a lot of leads, tons of new leads.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody wants to know how to do that, right? So I
Yep.
love that. Well, thanks so much, Ashley, for being with us today. And again, guys, we'll give you all of Ashley's information in the show notes. Don't forget. And if you found anything on here valuable today, any quick tips that were helpful for you, take a screenshot, share it on social media, and not only tag Blessed Mama Bosses, but make sure you also tag Ashley Casey. And also don't forget to rate and review. We'd love to hear what you thought about this podcast episode today. And be sure to share it with any of your friends that are trying to build a business in any field, because they can definitely learn a lot from Ashley. So Ashley, thanks so much. And we hope all of you have a great day and make it a great day for others. Bye.